Okay, so we are here for Pablo Escoto. So, Pablo Escoto, welcome to your private class for MyDMX 3.0. So, we have right here a fresh file for MyDMX. We're going to start from 0. We're going to start by patching in the lights that you gave me. So, LED, par. Okay. So, it is the LED part. It's this one, mode 2. And that one is 8 channels. Okay. So, we have 8 of these. 8 of these. We're going to patch those in. Okay, so we have those in. And then we also have 2 inno pocket spots. Inno pocket spot. So we have this one on mode 2. And we have 2 of these. Okay. So let's patch those in. Okay. So, starting off from the first thing, you said that you have your LED wash lights and that they all do the same thing when you turn one up. So if you go right here, let's see, we have the dimmer, RGB, and then white, and we have strobe, some macro, and what is this? Function speed. Okay, so the reason why all your lights are doing the same thing is because you have, it may be because you haven't changed the address on your lights. So to do that is your lights on the back have a little screen, and when you put them in DMX mode, there's a number, and you can change the number on the light, and that's the address. So if you look right here, this one starts on address 1, and then on this one, it's address 9. So all your lights have their own address, and you have to set this address for all your lights so that they can all do a different thing. Because if you do this, so let's say you have your first light, this one's gonna be red, this one's gonna be green, right? And so on and so forth. If you don't change the address on these lights, they're all going to be doing what your first light is doing because they are all on 1. So what we have to do also is set the address on these lights. Once you set the address, every time you unplug them and plug them back in, it'll be the same address. You won't have to do it ever again unless you have to change the address again. But once you do that, you're good to go. So starting off with that, once you have your lights with you, go ahead and do that. Now, let's go over here to the inno spots. I'm gonna put these right up here. Let's do that. Okay, so let's see if the 3D visualizer lets me work today. Let's see. Okay, so it's working. Let's see. It looks like it's working. Let's see if it crashes. No, it doesn't want to crash? Okay. Okay, so it is working. Okay, cool. Let's do that real quick. Let's just make that a little bit smaller. Let's do that. Let's make room over here for this. Okay, so I'm gonna put the visualizer on the side so that we can see what your lights are doing. I'm gonna put this full screen real quick. Okay, so let's see, fixtures. Again. So let's select the scenes or fixtures, and then let's select all the lights, and then let's see. Okay, perfect. So then we can do, let's look at the inno pocket spot. Let's, what's this? color wheel? Okay, that's color wheel. No, this is probably color wheel. Okay, that's goba wheel, shutter, and dimmer. Okay, so it's these two. Yes, it is. Okay. Let's tilt this down just a little bit. Perfect. Okay, so let's see. Let's select these two, and then, oh no, let's select these two. Nope, no. There we go. I believe it is this one. Yes. Okay, perfect. So now we have that, and now we can go here, and we can move these up. So let's do that. Let's do that. You know what? Let's put these lower. And then let's get these and let's put them right there. Okay, nice. Okay. So now we can go here. Let's turn this down. Let's turn this up. And let's turn this up while we're at it. Okay, so then we can put this right there. We can make this a little bit smaller. And let's just go ahead and do that. Okay, so now we have all our lights here. We have everything here. So we have the 8 LEDs, and then we have our 2 moving heads. So let's go ahead and start working on the programming. So I'm gonna name this group parse, and I'm gonna name this one heads. So this is gonna be our section for basic colors. Okay. Let's do 9. Okay, so 9 different scenes, right? 9 different scenes. I'm gonna turn up the dimmer on all of them so that they're ready once we start putting in the colors. Okay, and let's do the same over here. So 9. Okay, so we're gonna start with the inner pocket spot. We're gonna start by, let's turn these up too. Let me just do that while we're at it. I'm gonna turn up the fader and the dimmer, or the shutter and the dimmer, my bad. I'm gonna do that on all these scenes. I'm only doing this for these on this group. So this group is gonna be specifically for your moving heads, and then this group is gonna be specifically for your parse. Okay. So then let's go here. Let's keep going. Nice. Okay. Okay. So now we have all of this done. Now let's go to palette. Let's go to the color wheel. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So actually we only need 8 colors. We only need 8 of these. So delete. What color are you missing? Let's see. So we have that. Ah, you're missing that color. Okay. Anyways, so this one's gonna be white. This one's gonna be red. This one's gonna be orange. This one's gonna be yellow. This one's gonna be blue. Blue, right? No, green. I'm blind. This one's gonna be blue. This one's gonna be that, and this one's gonna be that. Okay, so now we have this section for your moving heads fully mapped out or programmed. So now when you go to live, when you click on this, hold on, that's why, yeah, it is. Okay, so now when you go to live, these are gonna do this. They're all gonna do that. So notice how when I click every one, it changes the color. That's because now you programmed your colors, right? So let's make this a little bit more detailed now. So now we have white here, so we're gonna put white. And when I have white, I like to use this color. Now we have red. Okay. And what I'm doing here also is that I'm color coding the scenes. I'm color coding them so that I know just by looking also what color they are. So yellow, let's change that to yellow, and then green, let's do green. Is that blue? Blue, let's do blue, and then light blue, I'm gonna name it cyan, or yeah, cyan. Let's do that. And then magenta, oh. I think magenta is spelled with just one G. That looks right. Okay. Let's do that. So let's see how this looks over here now. So now, if you see, every color is now coded with this little tag that coincides with the color. So red, it has a red tag, orange, orange, yellow, yellow, green, green, blue, blue, cyan, cyan, and magenta, magenta. So now they all have, now you have all your fixtures, or no, just your moving heads, my bad. Now I have your moving heads programmed with basic colors. So now we're gonna do the same thing with your RGBs. So you can do this with one of two ways for white. You can either turn up all of these, the first three, the RGB, because red, green, and blue mixed together makes white. You can do that, or you can just go ahead and do the third one also, and you'll get an even brighter white because that is the pure white LEDs turning on. So we're gonna do that too. So white, let's go ahead and make that this. Going on to the next one, we have red. Red, let's make that red. And then we're gonna turn up the red, so now we have red. Next we have orange. Orange, we will do that. Oh, hold on, I forgot to do. So for orange, what I like to do is I like to put the red fader at 255, and I like to put the green fader at 100, and that gives a really nice orange touch. That's my personal preference, but if you want to do a different shade, you can always just change that yourself in your own show file. Next we have yellow. One's already coded, so then red and green go up. We have yellow now. What is this? Green. Green. Let's color code that. So green. Turn up green, and then what is this? Blue. I zoned out for a second. So blue, and then we'll turn up blue, Then we have cyan, or light blue, whatever you want to call it. That's completely up to you. So to get that color, you turn up green and blue. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. That's white. You turn up this. Let's turn that off. That way we don't have any problems. Perfect, okay. Let me just make sure everything looks good. Perfect, okay. Let's go back here. That looks good. And then magenta. For some reason that doesn't look like the correct spelling, but I'm gonna ignore that for a bit. And for magenta, you just mix these two together. So perfect, okay. So now we have the LED bars and the moving heads programmed. So now when you turn these both on, boom, your moving heads turn on, and so do your pars. And now you can do color combinations. So if you want to do red and blue, you can do that. There are so many things that you can do with this simple light show that you have here. There's already so many things you can do here now. So next, we're going to do a shows section. And for this, we're going to go to the effects tab, and we're going to choose matrix. We're going to put the matrix over the lights. So what this does is this is going to add a rainbow effect to your lights. But if you look closely, you can see that the lights here, these are your lights, you can see your lights here, they're not on. Neither are they on your 3D visualizer. So that means they're not going to turn on in real life either. Now why is that? Because your lights here, these lights that you have, let's see if it's going to let me. There we go. Your lights have a dimmer. So notice when I turn them on, okay. Once I turn up the fader, the dimmer, now they're on. And now you can see here that they're doing the nice rainbow effect. That's a really cool thing that I like to use. So, how are we going to make this work if you have a dimmer? Well, there's a way to cheat out of this. You go to effect, you get this on your lights, and then you add an effect. You get the, no, not that one. So you have your curve effect here that you added. So if you see here, this is your curve effect. You're gonna select dimmer. Okay, so now if you notice, the dimmer is going up and down along with this curve. And notice how it's just going up and down, bright and then dark, bright and then dark. How do we fix that? All you have to do is turn the offset all the way up, and now the curve is at the very top, so it's just a line on the top. And now the dimmer's all the way up, and you have your effect working. So once you have that, you can generate it. Let's delete that, yes. And now you have your rainbow effect. Now if we go here to your shows tab, there you go. Now you have your rainbow. But now your moving heads are missing out on the rainbow. So we're going to go ahead and add your moving heads to the fun. We're going to select all of these, and we're going to, in a pocket spot, we're going to go to fader. We're going to turn these two up. Then we're going to go to palette, turn this on. And then we're gonna save it. So now, when you turn on rainbow, now your moving heads turn on as well. So just like that, you already have one show free. And actually, before I keep going, I'm gonna do this. Okay. So, now we have that done. Okay. Now real quick, what I want to do is add a strobe section. I want to add a strobe section. And let's do this. So we're going to go white strobe, red strobe, orange strobe, yellow strobe, green strobe, blue strobe, cyan strobe, and magenta strobe. So this gets turned on, this gets turned on, this gets turned on, this gets turned on, this gets turned on. And now we go to the shutter. Okay, that looks good. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this to all of them real quick. Okay, so now let's start adding this and this. Let's do this, this, and 100. Let's do this, and this, and this. Let's do this, and this. Let's do this, and this. Let's do this, and this, and this. And then let's do this, and this, and this. So now we have exactly the same thing. Now you have them in strobe, right? So if you see, now we have everything the same. Let's go ahead and color code these while we're at it. Let's do that. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, light blue, and magenta. So now we're gonna do the same thing for the moving heads. So now we're gonna go up here. Let's turn this up. And before I keep going, I'm gonna go ahead and do this to all of them. So let's see, strobe, 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 and strobe. Okay, so we have that. Let me just do that to these two. I'm just trying to save time while I do this, just to make this video as short as possible. Okay, so now we're gonna change the colors on the moving head. So let's do that. And there. And there. And there. And there. And there. So now we have the moving heads as well. Perfect. If you noticed, you see how the moving heads are magenta and then the pars are white. That's just a glitch with the visualizer where it sometimes leaves the moving heads in the last color that was in. Don't worry about that. Once I fix it, it's back to white. That's not an issue. Once you have your lights on you, it's gonna be working fine. So now we have basic colors. Now we have basic colors. And we have basic colors for the moving heads as well. Right? And now we have strobe for your moving heads and your lights. Already with this, you can also do a pretty badass show. Along with this, and you're good to go. But let's keep going. Now let's do movements. So we're gonna do random. We're in the inner pockets. We're gonna add a pan and tilt effect. And what you want to do is you want to make a small circle and put it right there. Right there, exactly where I have it. We're going to turn on the beam just so you can see what we're doing. Let's put that down a little bit. Can we go any bit lower? Yeah, we can. Let's see. Let's try that. Is that good? Let's close it in a little bit more. So the point of moving these dots is so that you can see how far your beam is going to move around. And I think that looks good. So now what you want to do is turn up the phasing value. Real quick, let me just do this. Let's do... Can I not click on it? Yes, I can. There we go. Okay, hold on. Let's just do that real quick. I'm gonna move this one right under this one, and then I'm gonna move this one right under this one. Okay, that way we can do that. And then let's go ahead and go back to this view. And let's bring this window back. Okay, so that looks good. Now what you want to do is turn these back off. And now let's generate it. Let's delete that first one. So now we have this one. So now you have your random movement for your heads. So now we want to make the whole room red. Now you can turn on random, and now your heads are moving. You want to go to the rainbow? There you go. Now you got the rainbow effect. And your heads are moving. You want to do white strobe? There you go. You got your white strobe. Okay, so I noticed something right now. Okay. So let's see. Ah, that's why. So what I'm doing right now is I'm turning on the faders on all of these channels, because I want to make sure that when I turn on one of these while I have another show on, it does what I want this to do. So once I have that done, now I won't have the problem of the colors not changing. So now if we have rainbow, so we have this, now we can do that. And actually, hold on. I gotta put this on. Let's go here. I have to put this on white. I gotta put this on white too. Okay, so now it should work. So now I can have rainbow, this, and now when I turn on strobe, okay, there we go. So you can go with the music now. Doom, 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 doom. But let's say you want this to strobe, okay? Not a problem. Let's add a strobe here. And let's call it strobe all. Strobe all. So for this one, all you're gonna do is turn up these two to strobe. Let's put that one right there. And then this one, we're gonna turn this up. We're gonna turn up the dimmer. And that's all you have to do. So now you have your strobe all. Now you can have your rainbow and your movement, and you can strobe them. Nice, 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 nice. Now we're gonna do another show. We're gonna add another show right here. Okay. So now let's go to shows. Let's add one right here. Let's go to Matrix again. We're gonna put this over it. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna add a curve effect. Turn the offset up. Select the dimmer. Right? Yeah, that should work. Should be working. There we go. Okay. So now So now we want to turn it up to a 90-degree angle. Why? So that now the rainbow is going down. And if the rainbow's going down, now all of your lights are going to be doing the rainbow effect together. So now let's do that. We can go ahead and delete this one as we won't need it anymore. And then let's go rainbow sync. Now it's called rainbow sync because it is the rainbow effect synchronized. And then let's go to the pocket spot. Let's do the same thing. Let's turn up the dimmer. Let's turn up the shutter. Is that the one? Nope. This one. Let's turn that up and then let's go back to this. Perfect. So now we can go here. And now you have this one, but you also have this one. You can see the difference, and in this one they all have their own color. It's like a scroll of the rainbow. On this one they're all doing the same thing. And if you go here to where the LEDs are, you can see, let's go ahead and click on one of them. You see how it's just scrolling up and down? Nice. So now we have that. What else do we want to do? Let's see. Trying to think of what else I could add. You know what? You said you do concerts or you work with bands. So let's do a blinder section. So what is this? So I imagine you've been to a concert before where your artist he'll be like, oh, how are y'all doing tonight or whatever, and these very bright lights turn on. We're gonna try to recreate that. So to do that, let's make our scene right here it's gonna be its own section. And you're gonna turn these up. You're gonna turn up the dimmer, the red and the green to make it yellow, and then the white to give it that nice warm white touch. And then we're gonna turn it fade. Let's do that. Let's do 28, and then we'll do 40. So 28 and 40 on the fade. And then we'll do always loop, release at end, and we'll do flash mode. So this is the configuration you want for your blinder. So you're gonna have always loop checked, release at end unchecked, flash mode on, fade on, and you're gonna put the fade in at 0.28 seconds and the fade out at 0.40 seconds. So now let's see what that's gonna look like. Let's go to live, and now when you click it, hold on, so you have to have this on. So now when you click it, there you go. That's very fast though, so let's go ahead and make that a little bit slower. Let's do 52 and let's do that. Let's see how that looks. That's still a little bit too fast, but you can play with it and see how you like it. But now, let's say you have these on. Now, you can make your own little blinder. It's not that easy to tell there. Let's say, okay, let's do that. And then let's say you're with a band, and then the band asks the crowd, "Oh, how are y'all doing tonight?" Or they're about to finish, or you're trying to get a shot of the people. There you go. Now you have your blinder. And actually, let me do this real quick. Let's keep that at 0. And then now, let's go here, let's go here, let's go here. And now, you'll have your blinder. So perfect. Now you have a blinder. So in 1 hour, we've been able to, not even an hour, in 45 minutes, we've been able to do so much already. We have your basic colors, our strobe, shows, movements, your blinder. And notice how this only turns on when I click on it. So you can hold this as long as you want, and then as soon as you let go of the mouse, it turns off. That's what the flash feature does. That's what this is. What that does. And actually, that's what that, along with this, does. Every time you press it, it turns on and off. Let's see what else we want to do. Rainbow.